We've got details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on X.
We first begin from the power front, and government says it expects the cost of electricity to reduce in the coming weeks as it has renegotiated power agreements with 5 independent power producers. This comes barely 24 hours after the IPPs demanded immediate payment from government to avoid power outages, but the finance minister is hopeful the implementation of the new deal will result in reliable and cheaper power supply. Christian Yale has more.
The costs of doing business and several livelihoods were severely impacted by unannounced power outages recently. Calls for load-shedding timetable were strongly dismissed by the then Energy Minister amid a rising power sector debt. Finance Minister Mohammed Amin Adam says government has renegotiated power deals with independent producers to shore up the country's energy capacity.
The independent power producers threaten every day that they will shut down, and this government doesn't want doom so, because we know the effect of doom so, particularly as we are growing the economy. Electricity is the engine of economic growth. And so, to further reduce the cost of power, we decided that we will have to negotiate with the contractors to reduce the cost of power. 5 independent power producers have reached agreement with the government. And once we sign off and we implement these new contracts, it is going to save Ghana $6.6 billion United States dollars.
Ghana's economy has been faced with its toughest challenges in decades, characterized by high inflation, which peaked at a 22-year high of 54.1% in 2022. Unstable currency, high interest rate, slow economic growth and an unsustainable public debt left untold hardships that even caused foreign companies to withdraw their services from the country. Following the IMF post-COVID program, the finance minister says growth is now here.
But for the shock the economy suffered as a result of COVID, the economy was growing at a very decent rate, average 7%. And so the 0.5% we recorded in 2020 could not be as a result of bad economic performance. The IMF knew that we could not grow, and so they put our growth target at 1.5%. But you know what we did? Because of the resilience of the economy, because of our policies, we defied the odds, and we grew at 2.9%.
And once again, he did not shy away from reminding Ghanaians that the economy has turned the corner.
And so when we say that we have turned the corner, when we say that the economy has recovered, when we say that growth is coming around, the economy is coming around, it is not by accident. It is not someone's whimsical beliefs. Data does not lie. In 18 months, we have brought inflation down from 54% to 22%.
The minister also touched on Ghana's debt to GDP ratio, which he says that when you compare the current rate to what was the case in 2015, this government has performed better.
In fact, in 2015, go and look at the data, Ghana's debt to GDP ratio was 72%. And today, as I speak to you, our debt to GDP has gone down to 70.6%. 70.6%, which is far better than what we recorded in 2015.
Now, the Greater Accra Regional Minister says his region has had a fair share of what government is doing. He talks about roads, talks about infrastructure, education, judiciary, and massive projects that have been embarked on in this region alone by this government.
Under His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo and Haraji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we haven't done much. When you look about infrastructure, there are people who were doubting us. They said we can't do it. I will prove them wrong, that it is possible. Today, when you look at project that government has done across the country, it tells you that our money is being put in good use. So let nobody deceive us.
By November this year, government expects to hold similar town hall meetings across the country aimed at tracking its performance and achievement. Christianity TV3 News, Accra.
Meanwhile, the independent power producers are not impressed with government's commentary on the issue of renegotiation of debt. Dr. Eliklim Kobla Apetogbo is Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Independent Power Producers, and he says government must simply honor its obligation to enable IPPs supply power.
The continuous delay in disbursing the IMF cash to the IPPs is becoming unbearable and frustrating. You bear with me, about a month ago, the finance minister had a press conference to inform Ghanaians and the whole world that he has secured about $360 million cash released from the IMF. Government went to the IMF with reasons, including debt payments or arrears payment to the IPPs. So what is holding back the disbursement of the cash released from the IMF to the IPPs since it was announced a month ago? This posture is not helpful, and it's not helpful to the industry. Finance minister or government shouldn't assume that the arrears holders are our profit for which they can do anything with it, or they can delay or whatever. These are monies due to creditors, money due to lenders. So once the release came, our lenders, creditors are on egg chasing us that government has secured money. We believe you have been paid. Send us our due. So I actually appeal to him to expedite action in the disbursement of this cash to the IPPs. It helps everyone, and it helps the sector as far as energy security is concerned. Besides, we have been waiting for these monies to be able to tie the ends of the negotiated terms. Until this is done, you cannot say that you have reached an agreement with the IPPs. Most of us are waiting to see his demonstrable commitment to this, to give us an assurance to sign what terms or whatever we have agreed to.
Well, let's bring in Richmond Roxon. He's a legal practitioner and also an energy analyst. Thank you, sir, for your time. Good evening. So, government is, gladly boasting that it's reached an agreement with the IPPs, saving Ghana's economy over $6 billion. The IPP says they're yet to see this, come to fruition. Now, what's your own assessment of this issue?
Good evening to you, and good evening to your cherished viewers. This will not be the first time the finance minister is making public engagement which have been openly disregarded or have been rejected by the IPPs. If you remember, about a month or two ago, the finance minister said he had restructured the energy sector debt, which stands around $2 billion with the IPPs alone. Later, the IPPs rejected it, and then our checks show that there were 2 out of many IPPs that had agreed to restructure the existing debt at the time. We're also getting this indication from the minister. He failed to mention which IPPs government has renegotiated the power purchase agreement with, and also inform us of the specifics. Because if you say you want to save the country $6.6 billion, which IPPs have you negotiated with? Which savings are you making? Are you changing some of it? Is it about the capacity charges? Or what exactly have you renegotiated? So that is something that the minister must provide further and better particulars to be able to give full picture of what has been done. As I mentioned earlier, a month ago we had the same indication of the restructured debt. Subsequently, the IPP said that is not the case.
So Richmond, I mean, how do we handle this going forward? And will this renegotiated agreement necessarily result in cheaper electricity, as government is claiming?
One, the most important thing that the government should do is the government must take steps to immediately settle these outstanding debts. This debt with the IPPs has been ongoing on for a while, 5 to 6 years of back and forth. There's been audit, there's been renegotiations, there's been eventually the cash waterfall mechanism was introduced where averagely the ETD is supposed to be paying these IPPs about $40 million to get them going while the government restructures or the government pays outstanding debt. The most important thing will be that the government must take note that ESLA was introduced way back be able to deal with the energy sector debt. Unfortunately, we've seen how ETNA has been managed. Parts of the debt, part of the monies that accrue are being channeled into different sectors instead of the energy sector, which continues to be a problem for the sector. So that is the first thing that the government must do. The second part of the question is that renegotiating some of these purchase agreements at the end of the day will help. The only challenge is that that is not the only problem that the sector is faced with. If you look at the sector itself, we have issues of capacity underutilization, where we have way excess capacity of what we need. The government continues to default on its monthly commitment. There's power theft, there's non-payment of utility used, commercial losses as well. So there are several problems in the chain, the electricity production chain, that affect the price of electricity. So the government may have done well or would do well to renegotiate the price of power with these IPPs. But if the other sectors are not dealt with, at the end of the day, the problem will still persist. Don't forget that the IPPs are still producing power to ECG, which means that the current debt is recurring. Every month we are incurring new debt. So by the end of August now, by the time we get to December, we will not be looking at $2 billion again. The power debt would have gone up. So that single component will not help. But the most important thing is that the government must stop defaulting and must get ECG to be very efficient. Because once ECG is efficient and it reduces the losses within the supply chain, power sold at the end of the day should be enough money to pay for the IPPs.
All right, thank you very much, Richmond Roxon. He's an energy analyst and also a private legal practitioner.
Now, the finance minister has apologized to Ghanaians for the struggles and difficulties induced by the domestic debt exchange program. And although it was necessary, Mohammed Amin Adam says the apology is to assure Ghanaians that the government meant well in its fiscal consolidation.
The domestic debt exchange program was a very successful program, achieving 95% participation. And on this note, I would like to appeal to the people of Ghana to forgive us. To forgive us. It is never the intention of any government to impose hardships on its people. It was a necessary, very important decision at the time that if we avoided it, our economy will not recover such as it has recovered today. But also to thank you, the people of Ghana, to thank you on behalf of the president for the sacrifices, for the efforts that you all have made in participating in the domestic debt exchange program that saved our economy. And so I thank you very much for that support you gave to the government.
In more news tonight, the National Security Ministry has justified its 6 million cedi monthly allocation for dealing with the Boko conflict. The amount, it explains, covers essential operational costs such as fuel supplies for armored personnel carriers and other operational vehicles. Well, this explanation comes following Boko Central MP Mahama Ayariga questioning the proprietor of such disbursements. The ministry has been responding. A bit more on that on your screens now. And according to the Ministry of National Security, a budget allocation of 6 million cedis per month was made to support these operations, which included a special task force. These funds cover essential operational costs such as fuel supplies for armored personnel carriers and other operational vehicles, the provision of delivery of food rations for personnel of the task force, special intelligence operations and other civil military activities aimed at building societal cohesion and stability in Boko. It goes further to say that in line with the coordination and operational strategy for the management of the conflict, the ministry, upon receipt of the funds, distributes same to participating security and intelligence agencies to support their logistics and personnel involved in the operations with the core mandate of protecting the lives and livelihoods of all citizens in the area. Let's speak to Dr. Victor Doke. He is a security analyst. Doc, thank you so much for your time. So 6 million cedis monthly alone on the Boko conflict. We are looking at 72 million cedis annually. This is clearly not sustainable. What do you think we are not doing right in dealing with the Boko conflict?
Well, thank you very much. With regards to that, now, yes, 6 million in anybody's analysis is quite a lot of money. And annually, the calculation says so. But one thing that we are not getting right is now, these activities, right, per the amount we've heard, is aimed at what? The operational aspects. Now, as the letter read or clearly stated, logistics, support to other security agencies, building civil military relations. Now, it didn't talk about what? Building the capacity of the local conflict resolution mechanisms there. What I mean by is the Boko Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee. How about building that capacity in that area to resolve the conflict and bring the conflict to a finality? We didn't hear about that. We didn't hear about building a capacity or supporting civil society organizations, field-based organizations in the area who know much about the conflict and then can offer or prefer solutions for the national security or the central government itself to use or to rely on in resolving the aspect of violence in that area. Now, we all know that when there's a conflict, there's violence, there needs to halt or there needs to be a process to halt clashes. This is what the Ministry of National Security is doing by investing in, with regards to that amount, supporting sister agencies. But then, what we need to know is how much has been allocated in specific areas. Then we can now assess whether it's been profitable, it's been effective or not. Then you can have some sort of analysis done, evaluation done, to know if it is not viable in that area you are invested in, then you can now channel the funds to another area. So we need some sort of clarity and breakdown with regards to how much was allocated to civil military relations, how much was given to specific sister security agencies and whatnot. We all know when it comes to conflict situations, yes, you need to feed the personnel, you need to transport them, you need to house them, and all of that. Those we understand. But then, when you state categorically civil military relations and supporting sister security agencies, what activities, when it comes to civil military relations, did you envisage, did you undertake, and what has been the outcome? Okay, that we need to know the effective aspect when it comes to those activities with regards to the youths in those areas, even the women group. Okay, and then the Inter-Ethnic Peace Committee. What has been done in those areas? I think we need clarity in that aspect, and then we can know whether if it is too much or we need to add more or it's less.
Doc, do you think we should take a second look at troop deployment and focus a bit more on engagement with factions involved, or you think a blend at this stage?
Now, the blend is necessary because you need to hold the clashes, okay? There are weapons in those areas. You need to now to station the personnel there. You need to conduct intelligence operations, okay, so that these factions don't clash. Then also along that line, once you are doing now you need to engage. Our problem has been sustained engagement. We engage for some time and then we leave the process. Okay, we don't have a system put in place. What is the NPC doing, National Peace Council, the National House of Chiefs, the Ministry with regards to security, and all of that. Now, there has to be a dedicated effort, resources allocated, so that these sustained engagements can yield effectiveness, and then we bring the finality to the issue. As it is now, we have a challenge with sustained engagements. And from time to time, we hear of cacophonous shootings, we hear of troubles here and there, targeted killings, and all that. So there is fundamentally something wrong. There's a challenge with regards to how we tackle the root cause of this conflict. And then we can now say we are tackling the triggers and then look at the solutions where all parties will not agree, and then we close the case.
Thank you so much for your time. Dr. Victor Doke is a security analyst.
In other news tonight, the National Security Ministry is urging citizens, especially residents within the Savannah region, to remain vigilant and ensure that suspicious people who enter the area are reported to the police or other stakeholders. Christopher Marco, my colleague, reports.
The West African sub-region has over the past decade experienced some terrorist attacks leading to the death of thousands and destruction of property. Currently, Ghana's neighbors to the north, Burkina Faso, is battling activities of jihadists, which has led to some parts of Burkina Faso under the control of terrorists. The northern parts of Togo, Mali, La Côte d'Ivoire, and Benin have also not been spared attacks by jihadists. In Nigeria and some parts of Cameroon, Boko Haram and other jihadists have also been attacking civilians and security forces for years now. Even though Ghana is yet to experience any attack, the Ministry of National Security in May 2022 launched a sensitization campaign dubbed See Something, Say Something to widen the scope of security awareness among citizens. 12 out of the 16 regions have so far been covered. National Coordinator for the See Something, Say Something campaign, Akosua Dankwa Ntim Sechere, at a community engagement forum in Mankaragu in the North Gonja district of the Savannah region, urged citizens to volunteer information on suspicious people.
The whole idea is to enhance the security consciousness among citizens, given what is happening in the sub-region and the fact that we share borders with some of these countries that have suffered one attack or the other. As a result, we've been experiencing some influx of refugees, especially into the northern parts of the country. So we encourage residents within the Daboya Mankarago area to always look out for suspicious activity. They should remain vigilant at all times. And when they see anything untoward or anything suspicious, they report to the nearest police station, traditional leader in their area, an opinion leader, assemblyman, anybody they revere within their community they feel will be able to escalate their issues.
Some residents shared their opinions on the campaign.
They encourage the policemen and the security people to be friends with my people, so that anytime we have a problem or we suspect someone, you can just go to them quickly. It's not even disturbing to talk to them.
This is your election command center. We begin from the Upper East region, where the flag bearer of the NDC has made a clarion call on residents in the Busa South and North constituencies to take advantage of his incoming farmer service centers and his game-changer 24-hour economy policy to become the largest producers of rice and other agro-food crops in the country. Busa North and South produces significant amounts of paddy rice, feeding part of the northern, northeast and upper east regions of the country. Komla Kluche has the following report.
John Mahama wrapped up his 4-day campaign of the Upper East region on Tuesday night. But after being crowned a chief warrior by the Chiana Pio on Monday, he dashed to the Northeast region for another leg of the campaign.
They will come with money. They've made a lot of money. And they'll come to give you 500 cedis, 500 cedis to vote for them. Please don't let the money influence you. If they bring the money, collect it. If they bring it, collect it and chop it.
In Busa South, he had a community engagement with the chiefs and religious leaders in Fumbisi.
Taxpayers' money, Ghanaian taxpayers' money has gone into those projects that have not been finished, but Ghanaians are not getting the benefits because the projects have not been done. And so when we come, the projects we're doing, the E-blocks that were abandoned by this government, we'll continue them. The hospitals we're doing that have been abandoned, we'll continue them. The projects from Kufuor's time, from Rawlings' time, any projects that have not been finished, we'll continue. Even the uncompleted projects that this government will leave, we will continue. The Agenda 111 hospitals, they've started so many of them all over the place. They won't finish most of them. The majority, they won't finish. The responsibility is going to fall on us to continue and finish those projects.
The sticking point was to open up the area to further development with huge investment in agriculture and road infrastructure.
The road network is important. Because if you invest in agriculture, you must have a way of evacuating the agricultural products. And I know that the road network here has seen some issues. We tried to deal with it, but we didn't have enough time. I awarded contracts. My turn was working on the Sandima Bulsa South from BC Road, and unfortunately we left office. It's reached somewhere. I don't think this government will finish it before they leave, but if we do come into office, we're going to continue it until it gets to WA, so that it's an easy way to go that way.
Moments thereafter, his entourage proceeded to the Rollins Park for a rally. John Mahama, in a charge to the people, said he's overwhelmed with a massive endorsement of his 24-hour economy policy, assuring that this game changer will go a long way to address the unemployment challenges bedeviling the country.
At a John Dramani Mahama, at Wode, at him president, at Niji Mape, at a Dr. Park.
We're going to establish rice processing factory here in Bulsa South, so that when our farmers farm the rice, we'll give them a minimum guaranteed price so that they don't lose.
But to conclude, what his handlers said was a very successful campaign was in Bulsa North and Bolga Central. From Lakuche, TV3 News in BC.
In other news tonight, a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, has called on President Akufo-Addo to apologize to Ghanaians for the economic hardship currently being experienced in the country. This comes following Asin Central MP Kennedy Japon stating that the governing MPP stands a better chance of winning the December polls if it apologizes for its management of the economy. Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo has been speaking on this matter to my colleague, Evelyn Tingma.
The Asin Central MP had urged the governing MPP to apologize to Ghanaians for its handling of the economy. Togbi Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, however, believes the call should rather be directed at the president and not the NPP.
There are people who don't even have a meal a day. They live on water, and even water is a problem. So their call for an apology means a lot in politics. But the apology, to me, should have come from the government itself, not the members of the party. The members of the party didn't create a situation in which we find ourselves now. The president, as Nkrumah used to do years ago when I was a child, he should come out with a dawn broadcast, as Nkrumah did, for all Ghanaians to listen to his apology. They gave us promises which has not been fulfilled, assurances which never came. Democracy itself, which is the foundation of our party, has been grossly destroyed.
He says the strength of the masses should not be underestimated.
What happened in Bangladesh just yesterday has come to prove my point again. The masses move. There's nothing you can do. So please, our leaders should listen to the cries of the people.
Metal footbridge that links Ibuakwa and DKC in the Ashanti region has been washed away by recent rains, cutting off the two communities. Residents have to risk walking in the Iso-Yeboah River to cross from one end of the community to the other. Ibrahim Abubakar has more.
This route connects Ibuakwa and several other communities in the Achumamwebeja municipality and even beyond, but it is no longer safe for use. Residents, including school children who ply this stretch to access their schools and other destinations, have to take off their footwears and walk in the Iso-Yeboah River. A college student nearly got drowned last week. We plead with authorities to come and fix the bridge for us. A metal bridge constructed by the Municipal Assembly in 2022 after a TV3 report has been washed away by heavy rains recently.
Due to the heavy rainfall and the diversion of the river, it carried the footbridge away, and anytime it rains hard, it overflows and it enters around everyone's house. This has been our challenge.
The main concrete bridge, completed more than 4 years ago, is yet to be made accessible. Residents complain of being sidelined.
If you wanted to cross this, you have to walk through the river. And sometimes, if you are not lucky, you could be drowned. So we find it difficult. It looks as if our government abandoned us.
Now we are telling them this is an election year. If they don't come to do this thing for us, you go advise ourselves. Because they are complaining since. So nobody seems to help us. They don't care about us. The moment they come to do their campaign, then they go. They don't come here to know our situation here.
There is an alternative route, but residents lament it takes about 30 minutes to get to Ebuakwa from DKC and vice versa. The Atumanwe-Beja Municipal Assembly, however, says efforts are underway to fix the bridge and make movement between Ebuakwa and DKC safe and easily accessible. Until this bridge is properly fixed, residents of Ebuakwa and DKC will have to continuously risk their lives passing through the Asiedu-Dartey River just to cross from one end of the community to the other. Some of the residents have even threatened not to vote as a way of protest over what they claim to be injustice. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Ebuakwa DKC, Ashanti region.
A reminder, still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. We're going to go for a quick break. When we return, we've got the very latest in the world of business.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. That's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here.
Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has two of nature's powerful whitening ingredients. With the power of activated charcoal and lemon essence, it removes stains and whitens teeth naturally.
Convinced? Well, I am. Just look at your beautiful Pepsodent smiles.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Let's sell more money promo. What's up, you 1 million?
Baba, 1 million.
Nana, then a mayor menyesika bebre.
No, champagne.
Osumde, Sanka, Pito Nation.
I don't tell me that they get her come for. How can tell me?
Fino, there is some more money. Some more. Open the 1 million Ghana cedi.
Everyone is trying to win millions in the Telecel More Money promo. Win daily and weekly when you reload your mobile and broadband bundles. You can win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis weekly or the 1 million Ghana cedi grand prize. The more you reload, the better your chances of winning in Telecel More Money promo.
Dial *500# or opt in on the Telecel Play app for free.
91 million!
Telecel, connecting energies. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Live in a community where your neighbors become family. And where family is love that awaits you on a daily basis. And where friendships bind us together in communal spirit. This is Eden Heights, a well-planned paradise with ready-to-move-in apartments and penthouses located behind the West Hills Mall, where living is a lifestyle. So, whatever your style, Eden Heights is the perfect place to live. For purchase or rental, call +233 50 153 1444 or +233 50 153 1445. Eden Heights, the height of modern living.
The business segment is brought to you by MTN and Napa Food. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
West Hills Ridge Property, Eden Heights.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Now, the Bank of Ghana has imposed sanctions on 47 individuals and 245 business entities for the persistent issuance of DAD checks. The central bank has accordingly banned them from issuing checks and accessing new credit facilities for 3 years. The following 3 Business News Desk report has more.
The Bank of Ghana has taken a strong stance against the issuance of DAD checks, sanctioning 47 individuals and 245 business entities who breached its notice dated March 11, 2021. According to the central bank, these offenders issued DAD checks on at least 3 occasions between January 2022 and January 2024, despite repeated warnings about the consequences of their actions. The bank's regulator said the sanctioned individuals and entities are banned from issuing checks in Ghana for 3 years and from accessing new credit facilities from the banking system for the same period. This is in addition to any potential legal proceedings under Ghana's criminal code. Banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions have been directed to inform the culprits of the ban and recall all unused checkbooks. The central bank said new checkbooks will not be issued to the affected customers until the sanctions are lifted. The Bank of Ghana emphasizes that issuing DAD checks carries both legal and regulatory consequences, and it remains committed to monitoring the payment system to uphold the integrity and soundness of the financial system.
Meanwhile, the Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, Professor John Gachi, has raised concerns about the Bank of Ghana's use of a circular to specialized deposit-taking institutions, SDIs, as a basis for exercising regulatory powers. Professor Gachi argued that such actions overstep the boundaries of the regulation of governing SDIs. His comments come in the wake of a legal dispute involving the central bank and a former UMB board member's appointment as an independent director.
What the Bank of Ghana should be working with is at 9:30, and perhaps the directive that it has given to all the banks. And if the bank is now adding letters circulated to banks to mean a regulatory power, I believe that they are working outside the requirement of the law that actually binds banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions. And we also do know that there is a regular means by which directors are removed. And if that regular means is not followed, then there is an abuse of the process, and those things can be challenged.
Now, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAO, has expressed concerns that food prices in the country could remain relatively high for the rest of the year due to what it describes as the government's failure to institute effective policies to enhance the agricultural sector. Speaking to 3 Business, General Secretary of GAO, Edward Karuwe, added that the delay in addressing issues like illegal mining is adversely affecting food production efforts in the country.
Until the end of the year, we should not expect much because you can't force the crops. The farms are not even there. Farmers have cut down their farm size because of cost of production, land preparation, inputs and so on have cut down. Apart from that, fertile lands have been used for galamsey. You see, the lands that we can use for farming have all been used for galamsey. Even existing farms have not been spared. Maize farms have not been spared. Plantain farms have not been spared. Cocoa farms have not been spared. oil palm trees, and then rubber. All that have been encroached upon by what? Galamsey. And Galamsey is ongoing, you know. And wherever Galamsey passes, it leaves a permanent distraction, particularly for the purpose of food production. You can never do food production where there's Galamsey, because you need to reclaim the land and then allow it to. And we don't have the capacity, and there's no even an attempt to reclaim the land.
And that'll be all for the business segment here on News 360. I am Michael Obodu. Up next, the sports.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in.
Red receipt now. Boss, let's go back. Yeah, take it. I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Hey, gee. My head really aches. Feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procode. And where they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. The only Procode we know is from Kojak. If it's not Procode from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
Wow. So this is the original Procode. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions, insist on Procode from Kojak.
Procode, K-O-J-A-C-H. Procode.
This advert is FDA approved.
In a world where every moment counts, one team stands ready to deliver the news that shapes our lives. A team driven by truth, integrity, and unwavering dedication. They travel to the front lines in the tireless pursuit of truth to bring you the world stories like never before. Get ready to witness the stories that matter. We have the most trusted voices in journalism who are committed to delivering accurate, balanced, and thought-provoking news. TV3, first in news.
Time now for the very latest in the world of sports. Yao Ofosulabi.
Yes, sir.
You were just talking about some final.
Yeah, the women's 200-meter final. Yeah.
Is Ghana in?
No, Ghana is not in.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Who are you looking forward to winning?
The American, Gabby Thomas. I mean,
she's still win everything.
She's at the fastest time this year. But also the 100-meter the 100-meter champion, Gillian Alfred, is in the 200-meter final.
So be a keen one.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, they give us some very good race. But let's get into our stories this evening. And the Barbara Sports Stadium will host Ghana's first 2025 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Angola in September. The Black Stars will host the Sable Antelopes of Angola on Thursday, September 5, 2024, before traveling to Morocco for their second Group F game against Niger on Monday, September 9, 2024, at the Stade Municipal de Berkane. Otoado's men are unbeaten in their last two competitive games following impressive wins over Mali and the Central African Republic in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The game against Angola is scheduled to kick off at 4 p.m. at the Barbara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Ghana are in Group F alongside Sudan, Niger, and Angola. Well, let's do some more this evening. And Southampton winger Kamaldeen Sulemana will miss the start of the Premier League season due to injury, according to manager Russell Martin. The Ghanaian international is expected to be sidelined for 3 to 4 weeks, which means he will miss the opening match against Newcastle United and the subsequent home fixture against Nottingham Forest. The 22-year-old sustained the injury during Southampton's pre-season friendly against Oxford United and was later seen leaving the stadium in a protective boot. His absence leaves a potential appearance for Ghana at the 2025 AFCON qualifiers next month in huge doubt. But now still on Kamaldeen Sulemana's injury records, and this is what it has been for the man. In 2021-2022, he had a back injury where he missed 15 games. In 2022-2023, he missed 3 games with a knee injury and then missed 2 games in that same season with an ankle injury. He missed 18 games with a hamstring injury last season, and this season he's already injured without even kicking a ball in a competitive game. But now to the Olympic Games, where the Parc des Princes will be the venue for the men's football gold showdown between host France and the 2020 Olympic finalist Spain on Friday afternoon. The French team defeated Egypt 3-1, while Spain came back from behind to beat Morocco 2-1. Sports consultant John Boafo, who watched the battles closely in France, expects a cracker.
The 1984 team that won the Olympics 40 years ago. And against them, they have a Spanish team that are trying to really do as well as they can, because it's been quite of a Spanish summer. They won the Euros, they won the under-19 Euros as well, and they'll try to beat this French team in a remix of the Euros under-19s, France versus Spain. So it's going to be a good game, and they try to...
Right, so that's it there, and John Boafo has been speaking. Now, with the men's gold winners, here's what it has been. In 1992, it was Spain. If you remember, in Barcelona, Ghana finished with a bronze medal in that games. And then in 96, Nigeria, 2000, Cameroon, and then Argentina won twice in 2004 and 2008. 2012 was Mexico. Brazil won in 2016 and 2020, and the title would go back to an European country because Spain and France are in the final. But now the U.S. women's national football team have booked a place in the final for the first time since 2012 after beating Germany 1-0 in extra time thanks to a strike from Sophia Smith. Now they now have a chance to win their 5th gold medal and await the winner of the Brazil-Spain game. USA sprinter Cole Hawker also set a new Olympic record to win gold in the men's 1,500 meters final with a time of 3 minutes 27.65 seconds. Bahrain sprinter Yavi Winfred also set an Olympic record in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, winning gold with a time of 8 minutes 52.67 seconds. In basketball, Germany, France, and Serbia have booked places in the men's semi-finals, and favorites, the United States, are currently playing Brazil in the last quarterfinal. Well, that's all the sports news this evening here on News 360. My name is Yao Ofusulabi. Entertainment news is up next.
In a world where every moment counts, one team stands ready to deliver the news that shapes our lives. A team driven by truth, integrity, and unwavering dedication. They travel to the front lines in the tireless pursuit of truth to bring you the world stories like never before. Get ready to witness the stories that matter. We have the most trusted voices in journalism who are committed to delivering accurate, balanced, and thought-provoking news. TV3, first in news.
This is the show that brings finality to all the critical issues. It is the stage where all the facts are checked, issues thoroughly interrogated, opinions shaped, and debates settled. But over here, we do more than just talk. We resolve problems. We hold those in power accountable. We address all the key happenings in society, from politics to health to education, to everything you deem important. And we will center the voice of the ordinary Ghanaian. This is the show that sets the agenda.
Agenda coming soon on TV3. TV3, first in news.
Entertainment news segment is powered by 3 Entertainment.
Welcome to the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufo, and the gazebo Accra Games Park in Jolu was the epicenter of family fun as 3FM hosted its highly anticipated Family Fun Day, and attendees were treated to a variety of engaging activities designed to entertain all ages, making it a memorable outing for everyone involved. The event was a heartwarming celebration of family and friendship designed to strengthen bonds and create lasting memories. Families from all over Accra gathered for a day of fun and excitement as your urban lifestyle radio 3FM pulled out all the stops to ensure that every moment was packed with entertainment. From thrilling games to interactive activities, there was something for everyone. Kids enjoyed a range of exciting activities, including bouncing houses, face painting, while adults had a chance to relax and connect over delicious food and live music.
Fantastic day. Honestly, I didn't expect to enjoy like this. I thought I was just bringing the kids to have fun, but I ended up also having fun because of the live band. Hardly do we get time to have fun like this because of our work. So when we have such programs organized, it will help us. As I said, I thought I was only bringing the kids to have fun, but I ended up having fun myself. So if they continue such things, it will encourage a lot of people to have some fun.
Kwabna Adakwa is the category manager for Cerelac, proud sponsors for the 3FM's Family Fun Day.
We understand that the mother of today wants to be the best mom, right? And we need to support them to do this. This is why we put together nutritiously dense products, recipes that have been specially crafted to support the mothers at this time to ensure that their children blossom very well. It's all about the convenience, and once this platform was provided, an opportunity to expand our network, but also to meet new segments. And this is what feeds into why we are here today, because we think that we can together help the moms to support their children to blossom very well.
3FM's Family Fun Day was not just an event, but a celebration of togetherness. It was a reminder of the importance of family bonds and the joy that comes from sharing special moments with those we care about.
I'm so happy that we came. We will be the best parents today. We will be the best parents today because of our kids. They are really enjoying it. I offer you nothing else. Girl, you don't get any issue.
It's been mind-blowing. We didn't even expect that many families to join us. It's incredible to know that the people love 3FM and TV3 so much that they were willing to come and spend their holiday with us, because holiday in Ghana is rare, and then for you to be able to spend it with us, we say a big thank you. This is our new baby at our events team, and it's here to stay. And of course, we have so many exciting things planned for the month of August. It's our youth month, so we're doing a lot of youth-related content as well.
Well, watch out for all the activities 3FM has for you in the month of August, and make sure you don't miss any. My name is Anita Ikia Ekufu. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Anita. Coming up, international news.
Vice President Kamala Harris has picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as a running mate in the November polls. Walz emerged top of the list of half a dozen Democrats, including Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. Mark and his wife are in Philadelphia, where they are making their first appearance along Harris at a rally this evening. Public policy expert and U.S. politics commentator Dr. Hayford Nsia analyzes Harris's choice.
I see him as a battle-tested leader with an incredible track record. Tim has been a teacher. Tim has been a football coach before. He has served in the U.S. National Guard for 24 years. And he is the governor of the Minnesota state, right? So I believe he will bring some principled leadership to the Harris campaign. For me, Harris is serving as a vice president, so she knows what being a vice president is. So picking Tim, for me, is in the right direction. Right now, what is important is how Tim is going to be able to defend his own record and also defend the records of Harris within the next 3 months to determine whether they will be able to win the election or not.
All children injured in the knife attacks in Southport are out of hospital. 3 girls were killed when the knifemen entered a Taylor Swift-themed holiday club on July 29 and began stabbing those inside. 10 people, including 2 adults, were seriously injured and taken to hospitals across Merseyside. Alder-Hey Children's Hospital confirmed that all children admitted with injuries linked to the attacks have now been safely discharged.
Part of a school in Southport, and they were actually having their dance class at the time when someone barged into the school and then went on a rampage and stabbed these 3 children. The stabbing were more, of course, but then the 3 died. And then we've got a teacher who actually shielded some of the children. She's currently battling her life in the hospital.
Well, that's all for News 360. Thanks for making a date with us. For more news, you can log on to our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Kwesi Asari.
And I am Portia Gabor. Do join Alfredo Cancer at 10 p.m. for Ghana tonight. Good evening.
Yes. Star 712.
Picture this. I'm in a Greece. A giant star. Yeah. And now you were back in Greece. To say why you fit on the millionaire. Yes, the luckiest at Aroma. To say about from Massa Echeman. Yeah. Now check this. Sister Abna, aka Kobe Hima. The luckiest at the room. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss Lady Baku Play. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, it'll be you smooth. Where you enter your friend will upgrade. Luckiest at the room. And the best part, that with the luckiest. Obia or a shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even borrow boys. And only over dialing with lucky number. Star 712.
That's what I'm taking. You win in the community draw on the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.